All right, everybody. It is currently, good morning, everybody. It is currently Monday morning, April 6th, 2026. Now, I haven't posted a video on YouTube in a little while, and I wanted to kind of switch things up. Again, I'm going to be separating them from gym stuff and, I don't know, just me talking, I guess, because those videos I make, they're kind of both in one, but I want to just separate them so people can watch just that, or people can listen to what I have to say. I don't know. No matter even how much people are seeing it, but it's going to be a good day. It's going to be a good day. We're going to go to work, try our best to sell a car. But something was on my mind, and I wanted to talk about it a little bit. The other day, one of my coworkers sold a car to this older guy, and I was outside waiting on it's called in the car business, so waiting on a customer to come in, just look at some vehicles or something. I was walking around, and he bought it, and he was waiting to go into finance to do the final paperwork and whatever, and he came out, and he's walking around too. I asked him how his day was and stuff like that, what did he buy, etc. Bought a newer truck, and then I asked him if he traded anything in, because it's a common question. It's always something I always like to ask, because I want to make sure my knowledge on our inventory is, I want to make sure I know what we have and what we just got in, because you just never know. And then he pointed at this Subaru Crosstrek, I believe, and he was like, I'm trading that one in. And when I asked him why, it was pretty deep. It was pretty deep. His wife died a week or two before him buying a new car, and I gotta get over. And his wife passed away, and at first he was just gonna keep his wife's car and trade in his truck. We weren't gonna give him enough for his truck that he wanted for it, and that's fine. But he ended up trading in his Subaru Crosstrek, and instead, that was his wife's. And he said it was better for him to trade that one in, because he couldn't bear looking at it anymore. You know what I mean? Like, it was a constant reminder of his wife. And obviously, he was pretty sad about it and stuff. And I respect that, and I gave my condolences. I said I was sorry, and I told him, like, I know how hard it is to lose somebody, that's really close to you. Not a wife, but he's like, yeah, it is what it is. And he's an older man too. He's like 70, maybe even 80. I don't know. But he's older, and he's like, yeah, it's, it is what it is. I loved her very much. We were married for a very long time, and I know she's happier where she's at, and I know I'll join her sometime soon. A few years, a few months, a few weeks. That's what he told me, and that hit like a truck. I'm like, oh my gosh, like. So the reason why I'm saying this is because I wanted to talk about pain of a loss. I made a video on this already, and I forgot to post it, and this was a little while ago. But I want to talk about pain of a loss, and I'm just going to redo it since this kind of got brought up and made me think about it. Having a loss of somebody that's really close to you is so difficult. It is, in my eyes, in my head, there's 3 things that are hard to get over in your lifetime. One of those, a loss of somebody that's really close to you, and you can have a few of those in your lifetime. You just never know. And the other one is addiction, and the other one is something that you have done that just haunts you, whatever it is, right? Let's say, I don't know, best example I can give is, like, let's say older veteran guy, he went to the army and he went to war, he killed somebody, and now it's on his head forever. Like, he's killed somebody, and that haunts him. And my tata, my grandfather, he was in the Korean War, and growing up, he told me 1 or 2 times about this story about how he killed a younger kid just like himself, and it bothered him. Anyways, that's a different thing, and addiction is also a different video I want to make on. But pain of a loss is hard. You will suffer. It's something that's hard to get over, and I can speak from experience for that. But the main thing that you gotta realize, and you gotta know, if you believe in God or not, it doesn't matter. I'm a firm believer in my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. He's helped me get through so much things, and He's definitely blessed me. I can say that I have a nice home. I can say that I have a beautiful wife that loves me, and I love her very much too. I can say that I'm really close to my siblings. You know, parents are pretty good now, and another good thing is I'm healthy, and I don't have anything wrong with me. You know, I'm able to walk, I'm able to see, I'm able to hear, I'm able to taste. All of that stuff is like I'm growing to realize that I appreciate things like that. And as I get older, the more wiser I get, the more I think about these things, and the more it just kind of stays in my head when I'm not grateful for whatever I have. Like, for example, like if I'm at the gym or something, and I don't know, I'm trying to get another rep in or whatever, and I can, and it hits me, and then I just immediately realize, like, hey, like, you're getting stronger, don't worry, it'll come. And I'm just like, okay, whatever. Right? And I go right back to it. But you gotta be grateful, because everything happens for a reason. If God, I don't want to say takes someone from you, it kind of is the best way to say it, I guess, but if someone dies that you're really close to, it is for a reason. I promise. It is their time to go, no matter how young they were, no matter how old they were. It was their time to go. And they've done what they needed to do on this earth. They have done what they needed to do. And the pain, the suffering, the grieving that you will go through, you may not think it is, but it's much needed to build character. It is much needed to build character. And it's easier said than done, for sure. Because if you have gone through this, or if you're new to it or whatever, you will ask yourself, or you will ask God, why me? Why them? They were too young, or they were a beautiful person. Why, God? Or why, world? Again, whatever you believe. Like, it could be the most beautiful soul that will leave this earth, and you will just ask yourself, why? Like, why am I going through this? Why did they have to go now? And eventually, it'll be some people it'll be sooner, some people it'll be later. You'll come to realize that it was their time, you know, and all that you've gone through, all that grieving and stuff, was needed to build character, to make you stronger. No matter who that person was. For me, it was my grandparents. Now, I was raised a good portion of my grandparents, or a good portion by my grandparents, I should say. And they were kind of like my role models, really. I had other role models, like my older brother, or, but they were the main ones. They were the ones that had made it pretty good in life, and they were comfortable, right? And it was a little after COVID. It was right after COVID, kind of like 2021 or something like that. That my grandfather, he kind of died of old age, and he had Alzheimer's, or dementia, one of those two. And I would stay with my grandma for years and help her take care of him and stuff as he progressively got worse and worse and worse. And for my younger ages, he was my role model, and he was somebody I looked up to a lot. So much to the fact that, like, if you have anybody similar to like this, like if you ever done something and if they're ever mad at you or disappointed in you, it hits like hard. I was only like 10 or 11. If I would have done something and made my grandpa or Tata unhappy, like I would feel very disappointed in myself. Like I was scared to disappoint him, basically. Not scared of him, but scared to disappoint him and stuff, because I wanted to be great like him, because he's amounted a lot in his life. And watching him forget how to do things and stuff, because he was the guy, right? Like if you were to call a guy to fix your electric stuff, I gotta call the guy or whatever. That was him, and he was always the one to fix things. And watching him forget how to do that's a different pain. But eventually, watching him pass, it's a big pain as well too. Hit me like a freaking truck. And shortly after, very shortly after, probably like a week, my grandma got COVID. She got very sick, and she eventually passed away around, I think, 4 to 6 months later, right around that time frame. Losing two people I love dearly, so close, hit me so hard. And the reason why I also wanted to mention the older fellow is because he traded his car, or his wife's car, because it was a constant reminder. And he probably feels the same way about his house. So when they passed away, me and my mom, my sister and stuff, and we were keeping the house that they lived in occupied, and when I was raised in and stuff, and it was always a constant reminder, for sure. And I was there for a whole year. I was grieving for a whole year, and it was a whole year of me not bettering myself, in a sense. It was bad. I was playing the game a lot. I was avoiding real life problems, as much as I could, which is bad. You don't want to do that. It just made me bad. And when you have a pain of a loss, you can't let it get a hold of you that deep. Unfortunately, I did. Okay? But I got over it. Okay? It was probably the lowest of the low I ever felt. I don't think I've ever felt as bad in my life as I did at that point. And a year passes by. A year of avoiding problems, of me not bettering myself. A year of not me leveling up in life and stuff. And I was just grieving. I was stuck. I felt stuck. Now, the good thing about them passing away is I always kind of relied on them. And growing up, I was always told I was going to get the house and stuff. So I always felt comfortable. I always felt like I was going to get something and I was going to be okay and I was going to get a good start. Basically, I wasn't going to start from scratch. That wouldn't have been good for me. Now that I'm at where I am, I realize that if that were to happen in another lifetime, that wouldn't have been good for me. I wouldn't have had the mindset I have now. But I was supposed to get everything, and I didn't. And growing up, I was always comfortable and had the idea that I was going to not start from scratch, and I was going to have something to start with. And when they passed away, it didn't. And for that, I'm glad. Even though it took me a while to realize it, even though it took a while for a lot of anger in my heart, a lot of suffering in my head, a lot of grieving, It took a lot for me to get out of that hole. One day, I just woke up, and not literally from a nap or anything, but I just, in my head, right, I just looked at myself and I'm like, is this really who I want to be? You know, worst shape of my life, the worst headspace in my life, nothing going for me. Is that really where I wanted to be? And is that somebody who my grandparents would be proud of? The answer to all those questions were no. So what did I do? My older brother was kind enough to, after that, let me live with him, so I can get out of that headspace. I could have probably done it living there, but it would have been hard. So I moved out, and I started bettering myself as much as I could, right? It was like I flipped a switch in my head. Now, the point of a loss, and I'm going to say this again, is to make you stronger as a person, and is to make you understand. Now, it's also something to make you a wiser person. Because we don't have a lot of time in this world. We don't. You could be young, and you could be freaking 10 years old, and all of a sudden you're 24, and you're having your own problems, you're having your own bills, you're having your own life. And you don't have a lot of time in this world. So the point of a loss is for you to realize and not grieve as much. It's okay to grieve. It's okay to cry. It's okay to go through that. It's okay to feel your feelings. But don't take life for granted. Learn from loss. Learn from loss. Even if it's not from somebody. The pain of a loss is hard. But it's to teach you. It's to grow you. Become a wiser person. To become a stronger person. And for you to realize not to take life for granted, not to take time for granted, right? You can have all the money, all the riches in the world, but you can't get time back. You can't. All these older folks who are billionaires, right? Jeff Bezos, Elon Musk, they're all older. But I can say that I'm richer than them. Not in money, but in time. I probably most likely have more time than them. Why? Because I'm younger. They don't have a lot of time. I don't have a lot of time either, but I have more than them. So pain of loss is the point of it, is to grow you, is, you know, for you to realize that it's just enjoy life. Enjoy life, be thankful, grow as a person in wisdom, knowledge, strength. And whatever you do not blame the world, do not blame God for the loss. Do not blame Him. Instead, thank Him. Thank Him for you going through things. Because struggling, grieving, all the hardships, it's meant to grow you 100%. Even if you don't feel like it, even if you don't think so, even if you feel from the bottom of your heart and you have a grudge against the world, against God, that's not the case. It is not. It is not a good way to go. So whatever you do not pin that against the world. Do not pin that against God, because everything happens for a reason, and I promise, as long as you handle it the right way, you are good. You will be okay. The point of my loss was I needed to be pushed out of the bird's nest, basically. All right? I was too dependent on that. On me knowing and me feeling like, oh, I'm going to be okay if they pass away. I might have a head start. I'll be fine. No. God, that was not in the route for me. It was not. God wanted me to get everything from scratch, to start from scratch. Because if I didn't, I would have took that for granted, and I probably wouldn't have been in the same mindset as I am now. And growing up and, learning more about God, getting closer with God, you think about these things and you realize these things. But I think that's it. I think that's all I got. So spread love one another, love yourself, love the time that you have on this earth, because we don't have a lot of time, and try not to get hell-bent on stuff no matter what it is, because you'll be fine. You'll be okay. Alrighty, again, it's another beautiful day. I am on my way to work, and I should be there in like 20 minutes, 20-ish, maybe 20 to 30. So we'll be good. It's going to be a great day, and I'm ready. Let's go.